Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna look at my favorite girl, which is Ado, and we're gonna react to her last, I think it's our last performance that we need to do from One Piece film Red, and it's Backlight. It's one of the performances that's been highly recommended, and I think we're gonna be closing the One Piece film Red whole project. I think we reacted to all the main songs. If I skipped something by any chance, let me know down in the comments that, hey, you forgot this one, you need to check it out. So definitely let me know. But I think we're closing that cycle and I'm super excited about her new songs that are coming this spring and summer. Of course, please don't forget she's gonna be touring the world. So do not forget to check the tickets, check her tour. She's an incredible performer. If you've seen her live performances, they're top notch. So they're definitely something that you want to see live. So check that out. And now without any further ado, let's get into it. Ooh! Ooh, this reminds me of a classic rock so much. Oh, super pouty. If you would pout your face like this, you would get that pouty sound. It sounds very bratty. Singers usually do that when they want to sound a little bit like either ignorant or bratty or just very provocative. I really like that sound. Also that little kitten hiss. No. Ooh, I love that nasal. Naya, Naya. So if you want to, you can have leaning forward into your nasal area. Have a pretty relaxed Naya, Naya. But she went for a little bit more restricted sound, just so she can make it sound a little bit more extreme. Naya, Naya. Right there. And you can add a lot of texture, just as I did right there. A lot of texture. Now that was a true belt. You could also hear how she finished it with a little bit of a vibrato there. But that Naya, try to, if you want to get that placement, try to talk very nasally. Wow, 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 wow. That placement right there, that's where she's doing that Naya, Naya. And then it's really up on you how much nasality you want it to have. She's getting a lot of pressure there. So she is kind of emphasizing that nasality there. She's playing quite a lot with a lot of twang in this one, a lot of changing timbres. So overall, you've got dimension into every tone. You've got a little bit of width and you've got a little bit of a narrowness. If you go very narrow, you get oh, no, 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 no. You get a very kind of in-depth of a tone that does not have a lot of width though. So very narrow can, if we would go deeper and deeper, you're gonna get, we're gonna get very deep, kind of more vibrato-y tones. And then you have tones going into the width. So width is gonna give you the twang. Wow, 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 wow. So if you combine that, you get that contemporary sound that you want from it. But you can always play with adding on a little bit more width or adding a little bit more narrowness, and it changes the sound of a tone radically. And particularly in this song, I see that she's focusing mainly on that. I can hear a lot of changes in the width of the tone, and it's translated really, really interestingly. Of course, a lot of vocal flips. Here, she could go akani, but she goes in a little bit of akani, just emphasizing that width of a tone, the twang. There's a lot of wet fry here, but it's in a very comfortable space for her, so it's not overtly high. There is a belt at the very end of this chorus with the texture, but most of the chorus is in a very comfortable kind of midsection for her. It's not even high of a belt. It's like she's somewhere there, which for her is a very comfy space. It's not even close to her vocal break, so that's very nice for her to apply tons and tons of texture. She's doing a little textured scoop on that. I'm not a very textured girl, so for me it's a little bit difficult for my mental block to make it really heavily textured. But that is helping her quite a lot to put a heavy texture on that tone. What is also interesting is that the the N consonant, because the N is very, very nasal. When I want to help people to get into the nasal placement, it's through either consonants like n, m, because they're so resonant in your nose, or then very frontal place sounds like wah, wah, wah. So p, pow, pow. So all those sounds just getting you into the frontal nasal space. I love how she incorporates her breath into every single tone. It's like, that's always her onset into her phrase. It almost feels like a hiccup, but it's so pronounced. So a lot of singers, but in a lot of genres, you tend to want to kind of hide your breath. But actually, I am a massive fan of utilizing other sounds than just singing. So breathing, hiccups, kind of like tremble, a lot of things that are just natural to our voice. And I actually kind of like when I can hear a singer breathing. I think the breath can translate a lot of emotion. It can be shaky, it can be aggressive like this, it can be hiccupy, it can imitate the feeling of suffocation. It's just there's a lot of emotion that you can translate for the breath. So I really love that she's doing that. A little squeak there. I actually love that she put that last tone. The very last tone was not too textured. It was just a beautiful, bright, heavy belt. I actually really like when we have a play on punk. It kind of began as sounding like a very classic rock, but it just crystallized into very punk-like piece. And I'm a massive fan of punk since I was like 13 or 14. So that's one of my favorite genres. So I can absolutely love this so much. I think this is one of my favorite pieces from her. I say it almost about every single Bado's performance, but in my head, I'm slowly kind of forming my top 3. And I would have to definitely, I would have to appreciate Backlight quite a lot, because I do love the songs where we have a lot of very natural sounding Ado, where we have heavier choruses. Not that I wouldn't like her like extreme high flips and stuff like that, but I just love her voice in the most natural form as well. So I like her belting. I like her singing in her chest voice quite a lot. But I think this was a wonderful piece that showcased quite a big chunk of her tools. One thing that I noticed about Ado recently is she has that basic kit. So those flips, that texture, very high belts / those chest mix areas that are very on the edge. She's always balancing on a very thin line there. She likes to do it in almost every single song. But then in every song, she focuses on like a secondary thing a little bit more, just to show us in depth what she can do with it. And I feel like in here it was mostly that modulation with the tone, so the width, the narrowness, and how much it changes the timbre of her sound. It was really cool to see. Every song, I think I found the best kind of word to describe how Ado does her songs. It's a study. Like almost every single song is, if I sit down and listen to it, it feels like a study of a certain particular technique sometimes. So it's really stunning to see. You know how some people, when they do videos, they do these essays and stuff like that. I feel like every Ado, her own piece, every Ado song is a little bit of a study on something. And it's incredible. Like maybe I'm taking it a little bit too technically, but that's my professional POV. I cannot get rid of that, but I do certainly enjoy her songs as a human as well. So if I go into too much technical depth, forgive me, but that's what I do. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. Again, let me know everything that you would like me to look at from Ado, because it's always an incredible pleasure, and I do want to see more every time, all the time. I check her page every second day for new releases. So if you're gonna have something favorite, let me know. And if you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to subscribe right here. Here's the video that YouTube actually recommends for you, and here is the rest of my Ado reactions and analysis. Please stay safe and healthy. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.